How's it going, everyone? This is Fine Gaming Connoisseur and welcome back to this Let's Play of Multiple Online. Today we're doing episode 16, so as you can see, today we're just going to talk a little bit about how character creation works in this game. And yeah, before I go any further, I just want to say Happy New Year to everyone and hope you all had a good New Year's Eve. Okay, so first of all, if you're a new player, I just want to say that this is probably the most important part of the game that you'll ever decide when you play this game, because the character creation in this game is very different to a lot of the mmorpgs out there. In this game, you don't simply just choose a race and customize your appearance and choose your class and then log into the game. Instead, what you do is you need to choose, first of all, when you create new character, you'll be brought to this clade species screen. And so, as you can see, there are 4 different basic races that you can choose from. So we have the humans, and there's a description here. Humans are spread widely over Nave in many different races, although almost never as fast as Alvarian and as strong as Thurso or Okma. They are varied and adaptable, and Tindermans and Starukans are in particular famous for their fighter mages. So yeah, you have the humans, which are, I wouldn't say that they are, jack of all trades, although they are very close to that. But they are very, in a way, they are balanced, in a way, in my opinion. And moving on, we have the Alvarian, and so these are kind of like the elves in other typical MMORPGs, fantasy MMORPGs. So yeah, there are two types of Alvarians. You have the Shivra and the Vila, and so there are 2 subspecies of that. And then you have the Ogmer, I think that's how you pronounce it. And once again, you have 2 subspecies of this race. You have the Hugar and the Blaine. And so I think these guys are pretty strong as well. Yeah, so they are quite formidable. So, but I'll tell you a bit more about how creating your character, works further on. And then finally, we have the Thursa. So these guys are like the hybrids, the offspring of Rizar, which are kind of like the orcs in this game, and humans. So these are half-breeds. As you can see, they look a bit human, but at the same time they do look somewhat different to other human races. So when you click on each race, you'll be given their description. So for the purposes of this episode, we're just going to go with the humans, because I think that's what most people would be familiar with, I think. So once you select a clade, you click next, and you'll be taken to like the next screen, which is your ancestry. Now this is where things become very interesting for character creation, in my opinion, because it's very different to other games. In this game, creating your character is not just about selecting your race and customizing your appearance, but you do get to decide who your grandparents are, what race they're from. So as you can see, your the grandmother and grandfather for your father's race is, and your grandparents for your mother's race as well. and of course you can have an option for select pure blood. So first of all, I'm just going to show you just think as an example. So when you select your father's race, you get to choose between 5 different sub races for humans. You have the Kalad, the Kurite, the Sadukan, the Sidoian, and the Chandreman. And of course you can click on each race to get this description. So the Kalads, the biggest, strongest, and toughest humans are Kalads are frankly slow and both physically and mentally dangerous in a fight. They are inclined to rely on their Blaine allies for crafting. So there's a long description here, but basically the Kalads, they are very tough physically, and so they are kind of like the fighters, you know. So if you want to create a fighter class, sorry, not a fighter class, but a character that is geared towards combat, and you may want to go with the Kalads. So you can either choose a different race for your father and mother. So in this case we're going to choose the Kalads for the father, and for the mother we're going to go for let's go with Sidoian. And so as you can see, not only does your ancestry determine your attributes, your attribute caps. So as you can see, when you have a Kalad, father from a Kalad background, and a mother from a Sidoian background, you get these attributes. So they're quite tough in terms of strength and constitution, not so much in dexterity or psyche and intelligence. But so you know, you can mix and match, and of course you can choose individually select your grandparents' origin, your ancestry. So let's say I'll go with the Chandreman. Once again, it changes the appearance once again. So as you can see, the skin's a little bit darker now. And if we go with and once again the appearance changes and the attribute caps change as well. It's become, now you have higher psyche and intelligence and dexterity as well, but then your strength and constitution gets reduced. So you can mix and match to your heart's content. And so it's a very in-depth system. Now of course if you don't want to bother, you know, with all the different selections, you can just go with full blood. So that will give you Chandreman for all your grandparents. So that you know, so now you have a full blood Chandreman, and so it's really up to you what you want. So yeah, we'll just select something, and then how about we go for we'll just go for a full Kalad, and then we'll click next. So after you've selected your ancestry, it's time to choose, you know, to allocate points for your starting attributes, as well as your age and your size. So once again, StarVault has done a very created a very interesting system for, you know, for creating your character. So basically, when you change your age, you can, you know, once again your stats change, and so does your character's height. So as you can see, you know, increasing or decreasing your age will affect the attribute caps. and as you probably saw just now when I clicked increase the age to 22, my strength went up by 1, and so has my constitution. So if you keep increasing your age, it causes your attributes to change. So generally speaking, the older you are, the weaker your character will be in terms of physical strength. But in terms of your mental, intellectual abilities, they do increase slightly. So as you can see, at age 42, my strength is somewhat lower than it was when I was in my 20s. And but as a result, my psyche and intelligence has gone up. So we'll just go with age 30, and we'll increase the size as well. Now, when you clicked increase size by 1, you consume 1 attribute point, but it gives you +2 to size. So as you can see, I use up 1 attribute point to increase it from 178 to 180. And so now we can allocate our starting attributes. So depending on what you want your character to be, you can allocate, the attributes according as you see fit. But since this is a character that is more or less, physically tough, we're going to leave the intelligence and psyche as it is, and we'll just continue to increase strength and constitution, and then we'll allocate the remaining to size. So as you can see, the character is much taller now than it was before, and so that's another nice thing about character creation in this game, is that it's a bit like crafting. So if you saw my episode on crafting, you will know that the crafting is very, sort of like, you can spend a lot of time just trying out different crafting materials and different quantities of materials to use, and designs as well. So yeah, it's very, I like this game. I like the way this character creation works, and that's one of the things why I like this game as well. So once you've, oh, by the way, you have to use up all your attribute points before you can proceed. So once you've done that, you can click next, and this is where you customize your character's gender and appearance. So as you can see also, the rags look much better than it used to be before. Before patch 1.75.00.02, I think it is, the rags looked very low quality. So it was just like a black. You couldn't even really tell whether it was rags or something else. It looked really, it just looked really bland. But after this new update, the rags now look a lot more detailed, and the textures look better. The look of it is better as well. So I think that's great. It's a good change, because we've been stuck with the old rags for quite a number of years now. So it's a good change with the new armor revamp patch that they've recently released. So you can choose your, so we'll just zoom in a little bit. You can choose your character's head type. So there's all these different types that you can use. Some of them look a bit funny, but yeah, but it's really, it's up to you what you want it to be. You can choose the face type as well, and yeah, so there's different types that you can choose from, and you can choose the different hair types as well. Now these hairs are still the same as they were before. So I think Starvolt has, updated everything except for the hair. The hair is still the same textures and meshes from the previous patch before 1.75.00.02. And so yeah, so if you felt that they look a little bit familiar from last time, that's because I think it is still the same hair textures and meshes. But I think if I remember correctly, on the forums, Starvolt did say that they will update the hair as well in the next engine update, so something to look forward to. So you can choose different hair types. Now some of these ones look pretty odd. So we'll just go with a mullet, and you can choose different beards as well, and that's a funny looking one. You can get a goatee, moustache, lethal. Okay, so that's a lethal beard. And you can choose different hair color as well. You can choose grey, cruster, burning, thunderbird, saffron. And then there's different tattoos. So if you're into tattoos, then there's a lot of selections for you to choose from. Okay, I don't think we'll go with that. It looks a little bit funny. So we'll just go with the. Hey guys, sorry about the just now I had to resume the video. I think in this update there is some sort of a memory leak problem. So every time I start up this client, the game client, the game will run smoothly for maybe 10-15 minutes, but then it will come up with this window saying that memory is running low and that you should close your programs and save your work. And it's saying that Mode Online is needs to be closed, but when I click cancel, then I can just play the game without any problems. So I think it only comes up once, for me at least, and this is something that's never happened before. So hopefully SV can look into that, and hopefully they can fix it, because it'll be a bit kind of annoying if I have to keep clicking cancel every time the window comes up, especially if I'm fighting or doing something important in the game. Maybe I'm traveling or something like that, then it will be a little bit a problem. So hopefully SV can fix that soon. So like I was saying, you can choose different tattoos, and there's also scars that you can choose from as well. So yeah, different tattoos. So you can really customize your character to a great extent. I think the options have increased somewhat from the previous patch, in my opinion, because the scars and the tattoos and all these different options, they really allow you to create a very unique character. Now of course one thing that I sort of notice is that there are no longer any sliders from before. So now all you have is different icons to click on to choose how your character looks. So now of course I'm sure you guys will be able to come up with something a bit more something more towards your liking when you create your character, but this is just an example just to show you the things that you can do to create your character. So once you're happy with your character's appearance, of course I wouldn't choose this appearance for my character, but it's just a test to show you guys. So once you've customized your character, you click next and you give your character a name and a surname, and you choose where you start in the game world. Now Tindrum is strongly recommended for new players. It includes a tutorial and it is always guarded. So if you're a new player, then you may want to consider starting in Tindrum because there are guards around. So if a red player or a criminal decides to attack you, then the guards will whack them, will kill them. So it's a little bit safer for new players. But in this game, I have to tell you that if this is your first time watching a Mortal Online video, then I have to tell you that in this game there is no such thing as full safety or absolute safety. In fact, there is nowhere in this game that is 100% safe. You are always constantly in danger at some level. It doesn't matter whether you're in Tindrum or in the wilderness or in a lawless city. You are always at risk of being attacked or stolen from. So safety in this game is relative. So you can start in Tindrum, or you can choose any number of one of the other starting cities. You can choose Vada, Toxai, Morinkur, Aduli, Fabenham, Galkor. Now some of these cities I've never been to, so obviously this one is always not safe. So this is a unguarded city. So there are no guards in Galkor, I presume. So you can choose to start in this city if you like, but it's obviously not recommended if you're a new player or you're not used to the way PvP works in this game. Or you can choose random. Now it says you can start in a random starting city or in the wild. So if you're kind of like the person who doesn't know which city to go for, and you just want the game to just put you in the game world somewhere, then this is an option you can choose. Now there is some of the text here is missing. So obviously this is not the end of the sentence, but the only downside is the frequently occurring. Now, so as you can see, there's some missing text here, but I'm sure at some point in the future Starbuck will fix that. And there's some sort of a Guild Towns button there. It's coming soon. So once you choose your name, surname, and your starting city, and once you're happy with your attributes, and by the way, you can hover your mouse over each attribute to see get a description of that. And of course, once you start the game, you have additional attribute points that you can allocate to your character as well. So yeah, this is this is how character creation works in this game. And so hope this has helped you in some way. Now the best thing you can do is to go in there and experiment, and then spend time tweaking your character's ancestry attributes and features, and of course the clade as well. Choose carefully, because once you click finish, then a lot of the options will be set in stone and you cannot change them. So do spend some time to think through your options carefully. Consider what you want for your character. So I hope this has helped you, and so I will see you guys in the next one. So once again, this is Fine Gaming Connoisseur, and so take care.